Hi, all. Welcome back to the Luddy Career Search channel. This is another episode of Career Jumpstart, where we jumpstart your career in tech. So this week we're talking about trouble landing an internship or job. And this is something that most people kind of go through because a lot of times there's not really like an algorithm or a set path to get a internship or job. A lot of times it's really just by the luck and will of whoever you apply to. A couple things to start off with talking about is getting this is, like I said, there's no set way to get one. Unfortunately, getting an internship or a job is really a numbers game at this point in your career because you don't have very much experience. A lot of people, they all have a degree, they're very similar degrees all around. So a lot of times it's just luck of the draw, unfortunately. Some things though you can do to improve your luck or your standing. I'm gonna talk about some of that now. So some of the reasons why you may not be getting one, and how you can really improve that. So a couple of things are why you may not be getting one. It could be a low GPA, lack of experience, lack of technical skills, maybe not great at interviewing, or just get nervous in those kind of situations. Nothing sounds interesting, such as like maybe you're not applying to jobs or that many because they just don't sound that great or appealing. It could be a lack of your network. Um, all that is Most of that stuff can be improved pretty easily by offsetting through other things that you're doing. So talk about a couple of those first things. So start by learning a skill, maybe a lack of technical skills. You don't know some of the stuff that jobs are wanting, maybe such as Tableau, Python. All these skills can be learned for whatever like industry you're going into or specific role within maybe IT or tech. Look at seeing what's being used. Such as for me, I'm a big security guy, so some things I learned was maybe Splunk or CrowdStrike. Those are two of the most really in use security tools that I know that I've been using my previous internships and that are being used throughout the world. Splunk has free learning programs you can use that are invaluable, something you could put on your resume, something that you could talk about in interviews. Tableau, Python, both those have ways you can learn those for free, especially as a student. So take advantage of that. Tableau has a free student course you can learn and be able to use all that to be able to really learn Tableau and figure out how to use it and then be able to talk about that in interviews. A lot of the stuff they have like their own like student programs or student learning goals. LinkedIn Learning, I'm pretty sure is free for students. So if you're not taking advantage of that, I mean, you can learn. You can look up almost any kind of video that you want. Maybe you're learning something for like a certification, like CompTIA. CompTIA has so many certifications that are super useful for careers in technology, such as they have some for project management. They have security plus is a big one that I know is huge within the industry, especially for people. That's a great beginning security certification. They have A plus, which is a big one for like hands-on stuff, maybe more help desk roles. They have Network Plus. They have a multitude of others. Linux Server Plus. All those are super useful to be able to really gain some skills and learn what you want to do within technology. The next thing, maybe interviewing just isn't your forte. It's not for everybody. Trust me, it definitely is one you kind of get better with over time, and you get more comfortable with it. There isn't really a reason why you should not understand like or know what to. You should expect. You should have an idea of what kind of question to expect for your interview because I'm going to say that 90 some percent of questions are out there on the internet that you can prepare for ahead of time. Don't sound like a robot. Don't prepare so much that your questions are memorized. If you need to write something down to like understand what you're gonna say, 100% do that. But don't do it to where you sound robotic. You still want to sound fluid and maybe a little bit rehearsed, but you want to be confident in your answer. Um, the easy way to do that is do mock interviews. So do that with friends, family. The career services we have though that opportunity. We offer mock interviews for behavioral, technical, case. If you want to interview or do practices, we can help you out with that in almost every aspect. Do it in front of a mirror. Say questions, record yourself. Understand like maybe you're not making the right gestures, or maybe you're making too much gestures. Maybe you're having your hands all over the place. Maybe you're mumbling. Maybe you're not talking loud enough. Recording yourself or doing it with other people They'll be able to help you point that stuff out. Maybe you're not looking at that person, which is can be tough to do over like video, but it's still invaluable. So try to do anything you can to be able to improve that. Practice makes perfect. I don't think it's really the right thing. Practice makes better because nobody gets really perfect. Practice makes better, and so the more you practice, the better you're going to be at it over time. Get a service job. Maybe your communication just isn't that. Maybe your communication isn't that great. Maybe you get nervous. Maybe you don't have the greatest skills for that. Getting a service job will improve your communication and people skills, and it's something else to put in your resume. And I personally believe that a lot of people think that maybe their job at Applebee's or Starbucks isn't worth putting in the resume, but I believe it is because you still gain communication people skills, which companies want. Because a lot of times, for a lot of students I know are going into maybe consulting, and they have to be able to talk to the client for whoever their firm is working with, and I think that's just invaluable because those skills transcend well beyond whatever that internship or job is going to be. There's all those you start with a baseline of communication and be able to talk with other people and talk through conflicts, talk through uncomfortable situations. All that is super valuable to be able to really build your role within that and improve as a whole. One of the last things I'm talking about, prepare for each opportunity like it's your last. It sounds a little cliche, but if you're not prepared, you're not going to do that great because, especially if it's a situation you're not really familiar with, you can look up every kind of video or wording or phrasing of a question and find out the best way to say it. Don't take other people's exact examples, obviously, but if you can maybe milk it to be like one of your own, no, I'm not a problem with that. As long as you're taking from your situation, finding a different way to say something, maybe based off somebody else, isn't a bad thing. You're adapting to different ways to do something. I think that is super popular, super good to do. The other things you can kind of do to improve maybe like a low GPA or no experience, it goes right back to what we talked about at the beginning, is learning a skill, making yourself have a little more depth to your resume. Maybe the way you can explain low GPA is if you're working a job or two, you're working more than just going to school. I think it's more impressive to have if you're working 20, 30 hours a week and you have a 3.0 GPA, I think that's more impressive than someone that has a 3.7 that doesn't work at all. They do is school, because you really have to, with having that extra job, you have to learn to juggle more things in one. You have to learn how to get your schoolwork done, get your professional work done, and maybe still do all the other things you have to do normally, such as going grocery shopping, exercising, all that other stuff that you have to do either way. But trying to incorporate that with the schedule of a job that it could be ever changing, I think is invaluable in itself. The other thing is lack of experience doing things such as like maybe I can talk more on security stuff. That's what I'm into. It's maybe doing stuff like hack the box or try hack me, going out and doing these other things that improves your experience overall. That may not be experience, like work experience, but something you can talk about. This is how I'm improving, even when I don't have that work experience, because at the end of the day, they know you don't have any experience, or most likely very much. But going out and doing this other stuff, showing that you're wanting to learn, that you are taking the extra step to learn, I think it's stuff people are looking for. It's recruiters, employers are looking for, because they want somebody that's going to continually learn, that they understand that your first job, you're not going to know everything, and that's okay. But you have to be able to go in and want to learn to be able to improve yourself and help improve the company. That's what they're really hiring you for. Well, I hope these tips were helpful. It's something that I've done a little bit of each throughout my life and career, throughout my time either in the military or when I've been back in school. So take it for what you want. I would say try a little bit of each if that's what it takes. If you're doing all this and you still can't seem to get any luck, come talk to us at Career Services. I know everyone here is willing and wanting to help. That's what we're here for. So come on in and talk to us, maybe schedule a mock interview, schedule anything. do a resume review. We have so many different opportunities within career services that are just for the students. I mean, that's what we're here for. It's great. Hope you learned something from this and come back and join us next week as we help jumpstart your career in tech.